that's awesome, man. That was like the catalyst to get you to make those steps forward, and you acted on it. Most people just ignore that for months. They're like, oh, I don't know what that was, and they just shake it off. But you actually acted on that. You said the next day, or is it just like you just a few days later, a week?
It was the next day. I was like, yeah, let me meet with those missionaries, man.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
Man. So you went in and you had the lesson with the missionaries, right?
Right.
You already kind of knew a little bit about Joseph Smith in the first vision from that video. What was it that kind of made that conviction or those steps that made you take that next step to say, all right, I want to get baptized? How was that whole situation with the missionaries and learning the lessons and all that?
This is gonna be like the first time I actually share this, though. Honestly,
exclusive.
So yeah. So my friends all know that I'm a visual learner, so I don't really do much reading.
Yeah.
If I do reading, I gotta like have something to click.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I read 3 Nephi chapter 11 verse 7, and as I was reading it, bro, I felt that same feeling I was feeling like in the LDS museum, and I was like, yeah. Then I watched the video, and I get the feeling. I'm like, yeah, this is the right direction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then leading up to the baptism day, like the day of, my Dukes had called me at like 3 a.m. Keep in mind, yeah, she's back. She was in Chicago. She had called me. We was on the phone for like 3 more hours.
Mm-hmm.
Shed some tears, man. It was
a rough towner about what you wanted to do.
Yeah, because really she didn't find out until the day of. Yeah, then she hit me with the after the whole spiel and good conversation we had. She's like, "So when you gonna tell your dad?" And I'm like, like, do I have to? Like, and she was like, yeah. She was like, yeah. But then she ended up telling him regardless. And I know because he texted me like after I got baptized. He was like, we got to talk. And I was like, oh. So like I spent time like prepping myself. And I was doing it the whole time. I wasn't doing it like just for me, but it was also to show like my dad, like, hey, this really means a lot to me.
Yeah.
And if I could have your support, then yeah. So after I broke down everything to him, made the comparisons, showed the differences, he said, I respect you, son. And you got my full support based off, he was like, you impressed me just off of the knowledge that you gained in a short period of time.
Wow.
And bruh, like I never seen him cry. We was on FaceTime while we was doing it. I never seen that man cry a day in my life. Wow. But I saw him shed tears that day. And like that alone showed me like it was Heavenly Father like, Ty, you heading in the right direction.
Yeah. Man, I got chills, man.
For real.
Hey, bro,
you better
like,
make me cry,
I'm
bro.
trying not to cry right now because it hit me hard.
Yeah.
Bro.
For that, I mean, there's so many people out there who are wanting to join the church and they can't because either their parents won't let them or they get shunned. Literally, they get shut out. But that speaks volumes about your father, man, for him to be willing to accept you still and to be impressed that you actually learn more about the gospel and you understand the scriptures in a more in depth. I mean, I think just from obviously his background, he's probably like, my son actually is learning this. He's reading the scriptures, you know, he's understanding them. He's expounding them. That's, I don't know, man. That's just, that's just so cool, man. Most families and stories I hear about people converting, it's a big pushback and it's really hard for them to even stay in, you know, and for your family to support you despite maybe not being fully okay with it or whatever, but still supporting you and loving you despite that. That's amazing, man. Shout out to your parents, man.
Yeah, we going to church when I get there.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. Okay. They was like, it's like, do you mind if we come to a service with you? I was like, for real? And my dad was like, yeah. And I was like, it's a second hour if you want to like learn about the teaching. And he was like, I would love that. And I was like, oh,
that's awesome, man. Dude, planting seeds, man. That's cool.
Hey, man.
And that's the beauty of it about the gospel is that we're not trying to take away the truths that people have already learned. We're just adding on to it. You know, it's just another testament. It's another thing that's testifying to Jesus Christ.